Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Viber got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibreville. Hope you had a great day. Ain't shit change in the markets. And I don't know how many times I got to say it, but until these ETFs come out and some fresh liquidity enters the market, people are going to just keep stealing from each other. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Money's just sloshing around. Nothing new is coming in. No pumps are sustainable, but that's all right. We can be patient. We can wait because we know what's inevitably coming. And tonight, we got a special one, a Pulsechain themed stream on stuff that goes deeper than crypto, and stuff about legacy, about freedom, about privacy, about stuff that actually matters in life. And no one better to talk about it than the man, Bud himself. What's up, bro?
Hey, good evening, brother. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's an honor to have you on here. Been watching you for a while on Steven streams and around, and had the conference this weekend, which was an epic time. So really looking forward to this.
Yeah, thanks. Conference was great, man. Really, like, viewership was high. I think we had like 17,000 unique views during the conference. I got introduced to some really cool people. Yeah, it's nice to see that this message is worldwide, man.
Definitely. And after the conference, Richard went on a tweet storm, and we have a new phrase going viral. So no cry fagging in here. If you do any of that, you will be banned immediately.
Yeah, that guy's got a way with words, doesn't he?
Bro, I don't think he's got the thickest skin for a big boy. And it seems that people can get to him rather easily. And when he's on one, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that respond to that type messaging, like they like it rough. It's not really my delivery style. I just don't do that. But there's some folks in the community that communicate like that, and people just love it. So, yeah, I guess you got to know what they want, man. Give it to them.
It's true, man. It's attention now, that it factor. People don't want to read. And what's the TLDR? You put a tweet out there, it's well thought out. People don't even want to read it. They just want a summary of it real quick. So it's fast now. And Richards, he's able to adapt and really just push people's buttons. He's so good at doing that too. We're riling the community up, or just getting responses. And even with the stupid Etch-a-Sketch things that are going around, like the amount of publicity that drew up with it going on eBay and people buying them on there. So he just seems to always find a way to be relevant.
Yeah, I mean, that's his gig, man. He was a marketer, right? I don't know that I agree with everything, but the guy's made a lot of money in marketing, so just follow his lead, I guess, right?
Exactly, bro. You obviously were in crypto way longer than I was. I got into Hex and the adoption amplifier, so it was early for me, and I just watched his streams and his videos, and he was just different. There was something about him that he was telling the truth. He had a passion, he believed in something, and he wasn't just some other snake oil salesman out here that you just see all over the place. And he either pisses people off because they can't accept that someone's smarter than them, or this guy knows more than me. They got to know everything. So they just call him a scammer and dismiss him. But people that connect with him, when you see his message, it's hard to not, just connect with it.
Yeah. Yeah. When Richard first, like the first time I saw him was when he went on Rand Nooner's show, that CNBC Africa, when he called the 20,000 Bitcoin top, right? And Richard had a look about him. He's very articulate. And that was when Richard really bust on the scene. That was like the ICO stuff on Ethereum and the Bitcoin Cash fork. And I started listening to Richard at that time, and he was against Bitcoin Cash. He was with Legacy, and I saw his speech that he gave at Malta, where Richard even pumped margin trading, right? I mean, that's something most people don't know. But if you go to the very end of his speech at the Malta conference, he promoted his shill link for what was Arthur Hayes's 100x leverage platform.
BitConnect?
BitMEX. It was BitMEX.
Yeah, BitMEX.
Yeah. And Richard has for that, right? But when you listen to Richard, you knew that he was speaking truth. Now, he's evolved over time and modified his worldview, but that's what mature people do. When you get new information, you update your worldview, right?
100%. And I knew too he was different. Just the fact that he had access, you had access to him. His community could talk to him. I vividly remember I had a transaction stuck in MetaMask. I didn't understand the whole Gwei thing, so I set it at like whatever. I put the decimal short, so it was 1.1 when it was supposed to be 11 or whatever. So my transaction was frozen. And bro, I had gone 4 days now, and I could not figure it out. I was looking it up everywhere online, but I couldn't figure it out. So what did I do? I went into Richard's stream and asked him, Richard, I have a transaction stuck in MetaMask. It's been 4 days. What do I do? And he was the one that answered it and said, you got to go find the custom nonce, find your transaction and put it in there and send yourself a transaction. And I figured it out within 10 minutes. Richard Hart figured it out for me. And what other founder is out there doing that at that level? You just don't see it anywhere. So I knew back then, like, this guy's, there's something here.
Yeah. You could tell early that he knew the technical side of stuff. And, I learned a lot in watching him grow, learning about CFD token. And then, he evolved to Bitcoin Hex, which became Hex. And then saw Ethereum attack him. And, when they changed the S-load computation where it made staking unusable on ETH, that was when he decided to launch his own chain. Richard, it's interesting in the community. There's a lot of people that will quote Richard as Richard said this. Well, use that in context, right? The world changes. And when he says something in a moment in time, that's the truth as he sees it. But the world changes, right? Like, he was anti-Ethereum. And then he updated his worldview. And he only promoted one token, which was Hex, and said, you only need one token. This is it. Well, then the token got destroyed because of Ethereum attacking we were the only ones that needed the S-load. It was a straight up attack on Hex. So that's when Pulsechain came. And if you stay with him and you're observing the room, watching the world change around all of us, like, you can't take a quote from 17 and say Richard said this, right? You have to be cognizant of all of the world change. And the only thing I believe that holds steady in Richard is when he came out and gave the monologue to the movie Highest the Stakes. He said his stated goal is to change man's relationship with his time and man's relationship with money, and to get rid of the middlemen, right? And I believe that, and I believe that's what's happening here today.
Mm-hmm. Hex Monkey, that's so true. I remember back then, the DeFi summer of 2020. I remember taking a trip down to the beaches in North Carolina and being out there, and just, it was DeFi summer. It was so exciting. And Richard Hart and Hexagons made Uniswap popular. We were the ones that brought it out to the map, and he gets no credit for being the person that literally made the most popular decentralized application that changed crypto popular.
Yeah. Well, he's fixing to create another change too. I mean, he created a decentralized financial system. Like, this guy's is cutting edge, and most people don't get their glory until they're gone. Posthumously, Richard will be one of the people that changed the world.
Yep, we're manifesting it, bro. We're manifesting it right now.
Yep.
I agree. He was here early, man. And like, when you watch his early streams, which I did, I can't say I watched every minute of every stream, but just his message back then, I always got the sense he was preaching the long term. Don't get caught up in the leverage trading and the nonsense. He always told the stories about riding it down to $1 and holding through. And if people had the ability to stake like they do with Hex with their Bitcoin back then, how many more people would have so much money right now? And it's true. He's never strayed away from that. So I want to believe that Hex is going to be more successful in year 10 than it was in year 1. When he sets out to do something, it takes time. The overnight success doesn't come at the scale he's trying to do this on. It takes years and years of building and growing and evolving and adapting and marketing and getting screamed at and called a scammer and told you suck and overcoming stuff and making mistakes. And it's such a long journey, and you got to just be there and believe in this. Like, this shit's out of our control. Even the whole markets, they're out of our control. No new liquidity is coming in these markets right now. It's all of us stealing and robbing from each other. And, I made 20x in this coin and I got rugged over here. And it's just money sloshing around. So until these ETFs come out and until new liquidity comes in, shit ain't going to change. Until ETH makes a new all-time high, we're not going to get pumps on Pulsechain. And wish people would just be honest and tell the truth that, guys, until ETH moves, we're not moving. Richard's not going to provide exit liquidity for the world. He's the cheapest dude out there for being a billionaire. So if that was the message, I feel like a lot more people wouldn't have went all in and just got so wrecked on the core coins and just be so bitter right now.
Have you heard of J-curve investments?
No, I have not.
You know what that is? Okay, so in venture capital, I want you to think of a J, right? Like, it straight down. It goes straight down, and then it kind of starts to turn. You get the bottom, and then it come up. That's what all technology is, man. And the way that you're viewing reality, like, we had a good run up, right? And that's the start. And then it's just going to parabolically drop. And then it's going to round a bottom, and then it's going to turn up. Most venture capital, when they get into technological investments, they understand it's a J-curve investment. You just got to adjust your time frame, right? So I believe that we're just rounding the bottom, coming up out of the dip on the J-curve, right? And we're going to start to see positive price movement. And it's pretty obvious, and it will be extremely obvious when we get a 20-year chart. But this stuff's so new that the way people are viewing this space, they're too zoomed in. Like, you got in early, you know, some people might be a little upside down, but just zoom out. Just be patient, wait on the technology to get a hold. You know, there's like, if you are in this movement in Pulsechain, and you see the artists, you see the communicators, you see the marketing that's happening, you start to see the messaging coming forward, man. Like, we're just about to break out, and it's a communal effort. So the way you view the world is going to dictate your emotions. If you're looking at a 1 hour chart, you're probably upset. If you're looking at a 30-year band, you know exactly where you are. You're just rounding out the bottom of the J.
Yep. That's such a good point, bro. And even for the people that, like, I've been stressing the ratio trading where, like, I'm conservative. I want my followers to own the best cryptos all around, the blue chips that are here. I don't care if it's named Pulsechain, if it's Hex, if it's XRP, if it's Penis Chain. I don't care what it is. If it's the best fundamentally sound project with a community, a use case, funding, all, if it checks all the boxes, I want you in it. Get in early and hold it long term. And with Pulsechain, the Pulse and PulseX ratio, we crushed it early on, swapping at 3.75 to 1 from Pulse to PulseX. That, so for every 100 million Pulse, you got 375 million PulseX. If you just held on to that PulseX for a year and a half, you could have swapped it back for almost 1 to 1. And you made a ton. Same thing with eHex. When Richard killed eHex by just stating a fact that, hey, I guess guys prefer using Hex on Pulsechain. Just an observation. Allegedly, that killed Hex. It dropped down 10 to 1. I went on and I took a screenshot of my swap and said, swap all your Hex for eHex right now. And anyone that did that at 10 to 1, we got another chance at 6 to 1. You tripled or doubled your bag of Hex just by moving from Hex to eHex, Pulse to PulseX, and then back to Pulse and back to Hex. It's so there's so many ways you can be patient and just crush and make money on this chain.
Well, and the important thing you said is the ratio. Like, dollar price doesn't matter. It's all ratio price.
Yep.
I've made some adjustments in my own portfolio that I don't want to talk about my own bags, but I see like huge swings coming in ratios. And so I adjusted my portfolio for the quick mover. And when I get the quick mover, I'll reallocate. And if I trade that ratio right, I'll crush it, dude. I will absolutely crush it. And, you know, but I'm more of like a Warren Buffett style investor. I might move my tokens once or twice a year. Like, I'm not a constant trader. I do look at ratios and pay attention, but I'm a long-term hold guy on the ratio stuff.
Bingo. It's the easiest way to make crypto stress-free. Why do you want to make the craziest, most volatile industry a bigger freaking headache for yourself?
Agreed, dude. Agreed. And I think what we're fixing to see soon with a rip in this chain, if you're allocated right and you know what's being built and how it's going to be supported, that ratio swap's going to be a monster, man. Just an absolute monster.
And yeah, bro, I'm the same way. I've been preaching to my guys that have been watching, just you buy the blue chips, you get in early, and you freaking hold. You have your portfolio of stuff that you want to take profits in and sell this cycle, that you're going to make some nice short-term gains that you're going to be used to change your life, spend, you know, upgrade, stop working, whatever it is. And then you have your long-term portfolios that are for the next 5-10 years plus, that you know you're buying them now because you will never see this entry point ever again. And in a year or two down the road, you do not want to be that person saying, God, I only wish I went back and bought more. Oh man, I wish I went back and bought more. Just like everybody's done with XRP. Regardless, love it or hate it, you could have bought it at 40 cents and sold it on an 8X and made a lot of Pulsechain doing that. So there's so many opportunities out here, and the ratio trades, like I know what, when the treasury bill and the Fed and up and down, and there's so many, like, I don't even know what's going on in dysnomia and that whole ecosystem, the affection stuff. Like there's so much out there where if you don't even need to know what's going on. All you need to do is just what you said. Look at the ratios of some of these coins. And some of them are so out of whack where you could find things that are coming back down or so hyper suppressed, they're going to move back up at any point in the near future. It's all over the chain.
Absolutely, it is. I'm a big LP guy, right? Like I've been providing LP for a long time, and I know there's going to be some huge volatility and some price swing. And since I allocated my LP, dude, that volatility it's going to load up that LP. And all I care about is that ratio inside my LP, right? It's all about tokens. So I really want to see my LP get out of whack, because it's as those R bots come in and that pressure starts to stabilize, and it does this until it lines back up. Dude, on all that swing, I'm making money, right? So if you see volatility coming, I'm across on the cores, I'm across the Atropa system, I'm across all different things providing LP. I just love it.
Dude, I'm with you, bro. That it's I'm doing it not so much on Pulsechain right now. I found a couple other ones on Stellar. There's this DeFi hub that they got a grant from the Stellar Development Foundation of $5 million. They threw like 4 million of it into liquidity pools, and it's 100% APY right now. And the coin it's actually gaining against Stellar over the last couple months. So it's the best of both worlds. There's opportunities everywhere. Once you understand how to use this stuff and you make it easy for yourself, where you set it into a liquidity pool and forget it. You set it into a staking farm and you forget it. Or you can come and you can buy some of these incredible coins out here, like A1A, to shout out to Sonny. You don't know what PRC20 you want. A1A is like an index fund of all the PRC20s in a sense. He's paired up with everything. The Hex LP one that pays you back Hex and Hex in the LP pool. Like, you don't think this thing's at 2 cents. You don't think if Hex or Hex starts to pump that this thing is going to go crazy and pay you back both hexes like forever. So you can get into this coin right now. And yeah, the volume's nothing, but just think down the road 10 years from now, if Pulsechain survives, Hex survives, you can get paid both hexes for the rest of your life at buying this thing at 2 cents. Like, dude, there's just so much opportunity in this chain. And I don't know why people refuse to purposely ignore it, or they don't take time to actually look into stuff. They fall for the surface level FUD, and I don't understand it.
Well, people are jittery, man. You need to calm down, right? Like, you're either in or you're not. I still, like, when my hex stakes come due, dude, I just restake, right? I put them in, I go in through the Costa system and I create HSIs, and I keep my 15-year stakes, my ladder stake rolling, right? So there's yield there. When you're providing LP, you're getting trustless yield, man. That's what this is. It's all about trustless. Like, I know there's a lot of protocols out there that are promising yield and doing stuff, but for me, I'd rather just interact with PulseX or interact with a smart contract. I'm comfortable with that, right? I don't want to have to trust you. I don't want to have to do the research. I'm not a dev, man. I can't look into your code and really know what I'm looking at. But I know with PulseX, I don't have to trust anybody. I hold my PLPs. I know in that smart contract with Hex that those are my T-shares, man. It doesn't require me trusting anyone. I I don't think trust should be involved. I don't want I don't need anybody to sell me their project. You know, and I'm sure there's some great ones out there, but I'm not going to look at it. I just want the stuff that was created by Richard. I use it. You know, the one thing I would say to people is whatever you're putting into your LP, like take a picture of it the day you put in and promise yourself you'll never sell it. Okay, that amount. And like if your LP is generating for you and you know, when we get a run up and you want to enjoy some of the work that your tokens are doing for you, never take your principal. Leave that, man, because that shit works for you 24/7. You have employees, like your T-shares, your LPs, those are your employees working for you all the time, making you money. And that's freedom, right? When you don't have to go out and earn a dollar, when you got your money working for you, now you get to go be the best version of you. You really get to contribute to humanity, whatever your passion is, right? And it can be like from being a farmer to being a painter, you know, being a philosopher, like improve the world, dude. Like that's what you get. You get economic freedom in this chain.
Yep. Exactly, bro. That's why, like, for me, I'm so blessed right now where I don't have to get up and go work a job for someone else, tell me what to do. I can make my own hours. I do research all day. If I want to go out and play with the chickens for a couple hours, let them out of the cage and go run around, I can do that. But that I feel a moral obligation to share everything with guys in here like Camo Joe and Mobius and these guys that bust their ass and work every single day, you know, not doing easy shit. And I get to sit on my ass and fucking do research and look up cryptos and stuff. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy to me. So for me not to share everything that I find and the best projects to get into, here's why. And like, I get like there's no reason for you to show your bags on stream. But for me, what I do, I would feel like I'm doing a disservice to people not showing you my bags, because if I'm showing you stuff and I'm this passionate, I love these coins, but I can't show you that I own them. What am I hiding?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to be as transparent as possible. So I believe in this stuff. Like I've done the research to where certain coins with Pulsechain, what you have that conviction with Richard Hart. And there's a lot of other projects around crypto. It's the same thing. And like with Flare, but that Flare's an oracle coming to blockchains, help with DeFi, has nothing to do with Pulsechain. They're working with institutions. The stuff with XRP and Stellar, they're working with banks for cross-border payments and for retail transactions, peer-to-peer stuff. Has nothing to do with Pulsechain. Doesn't influence us one bit. We have our own thing, and it's such a unique, important niche of the market that I just hope we can be that last breath of crypto, that last community that is real crypto, where if you don't want to have to, you know, if you're in Europe or something and you made fun of Keir Starmer and now you can't freaking do anything, come over to Pulsechain. There's enough liquidity here. There's enough everything. You can get a credit card from one of the companies and spend your money off Pulsechain. There's enough liquidity here always to be able to bridge from other chains over, so we can be that, like, that last place resort for people that get screwed out of the system or screwed out of other countries, and they can come here and have their freedom back.
Well, see, dude, you're living your passion, right? Like this chain, like you're a passionate educator. You're a researcher and an educator, and you're getting to live it. Like, good on you, man. You're trying to make the world a better place. Good for you. Like that's what crypto is supposed to be. And, you know, that's what this chain is. This chain is a decentralized financial system. And I hear people talk about, well, when it runs, I'm going to take money out. Why? Like, this is the safest place in the world to store value on Pulsechain, right? If you buy land, don't pay your taxes. It can get taken from you. Buy a car, same thing. Like when I first came on the scene, my message was Allodial Title. I wanted people to understand that, right? direct ownership, no middlemen, right? Like that's what we need. We need actual property rights. Like those rights are given to you by God, right? A man has a right to life, liberty, and property. And we were given dominion over the earth. So it's really important that we recapture allodial title. We don't need intermediaries holding our assets. And what is that going to require? It's going to require a lot of education. We need to teach people how to safely hold their assets, right? Like when you interact with your cryptocurrency, have a separate computer, use a hardware wallet, right? Like don't like learn everything you can learn about how to be safe, okay? When you assign yourself these rights, you're assigning yourself the responsibility as well, okay? So the things that we're talking about and the education, and that's part of what I'm doing, is I'm trying to help people understand if we want the world to be what it's intended to be, if we're fighting on the side of righteousness, then we have to restore natural law. And allodial title and personal property is part of that. And that's why I'm here.
So the allodial title, is that a specific way of owning your property? So instead of you buying it outright, you have an LLC or you have an S or something that buys it under there. So it's not personally under your name, or are you talking about something totally different?
It's just think of allodial title as direct ownership and property. Okay. And we live in a feudal system, so it's almost impossible to achieve it. It can still be done, but there's a lot of hoops to jump through, right? You're removing property. Like, so if you go buy a piece of land in the United States, you're really just renting it because it can be seized, right? Like, don't pay your taxes for 3 years. And some guy will be on the steps of the courthouse at a sheriff's sale buying your property from you for delinquent taxes. That's how it works, man.
Eminent domain. We can take it from you even if you pay your taxes. Oh, we need your property for a new oil line that's going to be coming through. So you're shit out of luck.
Exactly. So that's what matters, man. And people need to understand that, right? And you don't have it anywhere in the world except for on this chain. And that's what matters. So if you want to keep your value safe, instead of looking at the tokens you hold as, this is something I'm going to trade, look at this as value that you're storing that you can take with you anywhere in the world, right? Doesn't matter what country you go to. If you know your seed words and you go to a different country, when you get access to a computer, all your value's there. They didn't stop you at TSA, right? They didn't get you when you checked into the country. Your value's in your head, man. It's all right there. It transfers with you. And being how we have a decentralized blockchain, and there's like 50,000 validators around the world keeping it safe, even if one country decides to turn that access off, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. It can't be stopped. This is Pandora's box. And that's why I keep saying we'll never get another shot like this. Like, this one slipped under the radar. And, if we don't get Pulsechain right, we'll never get it again.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause you see so much right now. This project Propi that I follow, where they are selling houses and real estate as NFTs right now. You could go onto Propi's website and you can buy a house with XRP or Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC, and everything is done on the blockchain. The title, everything is transferred through you to you there. And that's really cool. I mean, I don't know if that's any different than you holding the actual deed to your house, but so I'm with the allodial title thing. Like, do we need laws to change in the country too for us to have that real ownership? Do other things have to happen? Like if property taxes, I saw in Florida, they're trying to get rid of HOA fees or something. So imagine if they went and DeSantis was actually saying, yeah, property taxes too. If that ever happened and they got rid of property taxes, now, does that kind of eliminate the need for a allodial title as much, or do you think?
Well, so I'll compare it to turnpikes. Like where I live, there's a lot of turnpikes. And every time they introduce a turnpike and we have to vote on it, what they say is, we're going to keep this as a turnpike until it's paid for itself. And then we're going to take the turnpike away and everybody will be able to drive on this road for free. That never happens, bro. That when they start collecting fees, they never give it back, right? You can't wait on the powers that be to give it to you. You have to stand up and take it, right? So as a community, as a movement, as a decentralized financial system, that's what we're doing. We're reclaiming the property rights to our value. That's what allodial title is. It is only used currently in property, like that. The allodial title is used in real estate. But the idea itself needs to transfer to this digital blockchain, this decentralized blockchain, because here's what's going to happen. We are on the precipice of the changing of an age, okay? So to give it context, we had an agrarian age where people were so like riding in stagecoaches, and you had buggy shops and all of that, right? And then here we transfer into the industrial age, okay? And cars start replacing it. Think about the technological shift from the agrarian age to the industrial age, right? Like that's the largest transfer we've ever seen until now. And we're going from the industrial age to the digital age, all right? So all record keeping will be done on blockchains. Like ownership, home ownership will be done through NFTs. All legal contracting will be done through smart contracts. Like you're seeing AI now where you can get on and ask all kinds of questions, whether it's with a doctor or a lawyer or accounting, whatever it may be, right? And you're going to have AI systems that will soon be able to spin up legal contracts for the sale of your house, where basically all you have to do is transfer an NFT, and the money will be placed in escrow on both sides of the smart contract. When the smart contract recognizes that the sale went through, the funds will be transferred. Like a lot of white collar jobs are going away, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like this will be the greatest shift since we've transferred from the agrarian age to the industrial age. But I think it will be bigger, right? From the industrial age to the digital age will probably be an order of magnitude more significant in change and happen in a faster time period.
Yep, I completely agree, bro. I've been not arguing with people, but having some good discussions about how this is going to kind of play out. What do you do when you have, hundreds of thousands of Americans that were making six-figure jobs in marketing jobs or accounting or, attorneys, stuff like that, where they disappear to AI, and you cannot physically go find another job to replace that income. They're going to have to do some sort of universal basic income, some sort of stimulus for people to provide, your rent money or food money, some kind of programmable money that you could spend $1,000 a month at the grocery store. $1,000 goes to certain insurance providers that you can use and sign up for. So I feel like they could do this in a good way where everybody can win. But if it's done like Europe is doing right now, where it's tyrannical, it's horrible. Like programmable money and admin key tokens, like you can't just necessarily say they're evil. It's like a gun. They could be used to kill people, or you can use it and hunt for food. So I think there's a way that this could be done when this shift happens. Because what do you do with all these people that are out of jobs?
So you're exactly right. A gun can be used for good and a gun can be used for bad. And digital currency is the same way, right? Like these stable coins on ETH, those are central bank digital currencies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you hold value there, then by financing that value, okay, you're allowing those companies to grow larger because they're buying more US treasuries to back for the one-to-one collateral, right? So if you're holding stable coins on ETH and a lot of these stable coins that are coming that they're going to be promoting, you're building the walls around your own prison. Okay. So know what you're doing. And the digital tokens over here on this decentralized blockchain, that's not the case, bro. Like know where you're putting your value, know what you're investing in. Like on a sufficiently decentralized blockchain, you're going to be able to store your value without building walls around yourself. Okay. Now, what are these people going to do as we transfer to the digital age? Well, like you're seeing it in media, like all the legacy media is dying, like the age of Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather, and the propaganda that they were pushing on all of us. You see Tucker Carlson has his own podcast now, right? Joe Rogan's a huge influencer. In this space, there's a lot of guys that are spreading the good word, man. Like this is the change of media. Wherever there's like that's the best part about humanity is wherever there's a service that needs something, somebody's going to go in and fill that gap and they'll monetize it. Right. So like I don't know exactly where those people are going to go, but they're going to innovate. But if you're of the mindset that, well, this is what I do and this is what I'm going to do until the day I die, like, dude, that's a tough road to hoe, bro. You might just keep educating yourself. You might keep learning. Like, I've had multiple career shifts in my life. And every time I've made more money. And I just keep learning. And I follow smart people. Like Richard was extremely influential for me in learning about decentralization. Like, when I was going through the ICO stuff before I found Richard, there was people out there shilling shit and lying to you. And it was so hard to find truth, but there's some really good truth tellers now out here in this space. And there's people helping people. So, man, I'm excited about the future. I'm not scared about it at all. I think good people will find ways to make the world better and create value. It's just not going to look the same as it does today.
Yeah, right. It's the fear is no different. Like the kids now, like I was talking to one of the young kids I work with, and he's really worried about like how AIs could take over everything and worrying about jobs for his generation and stuff. It's no different than when we were young being told the ozone layer has a hole in it, or spontaneous combustion, or people that grew up in the 60s, they were told that the Cold War is coming, a nuke could come at any point. The Great Freeze is coming, by 2025, the world's going to be frozen over. And it's never ending, just propaganda, fear porn. So as long as you have people fearing something, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as they're in that mindset, they'll act irrationally or they'll do what they're told.
Right. Well, if you notice, like on media stuff, man, they're always like, ooh, breaking news, something's going to happen. And the reason they do that is because it releases dopamine in your brain. Fear porn's a real thing, right? It activates a trigger in you and it gets you excited. And the people pushing fear, they're just monetizing your time and your view, right? Like that's what it's all about. So you have to learn to set that stuff aside. Start seeking truth. And, like in the future, man, like AI can do some stuff. It's going to replace some white collar jobs. But bro, skilled labor, like there's no amount of AI that can put down concrete, right? There's no amount of AI that can build these real technical things. Like there's no AI that's going to be able to generate generate art, because that comes from emotion and the heart. Those are things you can feel. Like techno music, you don't feel. You know, there's music you listen to, man, and it just grabs you, right? We're always going to have a space for artists. We're always going to have a space for quality, right? So whatever you're doing, just be great at it. You know, push yourself. And if you're doing something today, you know, and your interests change, cool, do something new. Like, life's a trip, bro. Get the most out of it. Like, just keep learning, keep changing, be the best version of you.
Yeah. Guys, you're not following Bud on Twitter, go follow him at Bud Pilch right now. Definitely deserves it. Let's get him to 1K. 32 more, and you were at the 1K number. But
yeah, man, listen, I don't shield nothing. Like, I speak my truth. There's nothing I'll ever try to sell you. It's okay to disagree with me. Like, I'm okay to be challenged on stuff. I'm just trying to give perspective, and I hope people resonate with what I say.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely do. And crypto, there's nothing wrong with these older guys that work full time, they own businesses, they want exposure to crypto, but they don't want to have to deal with having it on a ledger, hiding your seed phrase, potentially losing it all, making a mistake. They'd rather pay someone a fee to manage it for them, and that's fine. That can exist in the TradFi world. There's no problem with that. That will probably bring more liquidity into the space, but there's still going to be the decentralized world we have, and it's on us to make it great so other people come over here and are motivated by it and want to take part in it. And I think as time goes on and the more centralized and the more the truth comes out behind a lot of these projects and what's really going on behind the scenes, a lot of people are going to be kind of pissed off and looking for a new place to go. And Pulsechain will always be that community there, building what these people were hoping to find in these other communities that were never going to live up to what they were promising. It was all just a money grab.
Agreed, brother. Agreed.
Yeah. So this is
Can you play that?
Yeah, Bud put me onto this, guys. I just retweeted it. So if you're not following me, follow me and retweet this, and follow Crypto Clover, because I don't know if he's going to be making more of these, if he has the ability to, but this is what we need for Pulsechain, the marketing. So let's watch this right here.
I would like to know if I heard that Richard Hart left you because he took the money from your treasury, because the Hex community are saying that the money in Richard's wallet is theirs, and that they have one of the biggest treasuries. Well, Richard took that money, he put it in Tornado Cash, so now no one knows where it is. I love the Hex account. They're saying it's bullish, because if Richard goes away fully with the cash, then it's like Satoshi. Just like Satoshi left Bitcoin, Richard leaving Hex is super bullish. I'm with you. I hope that's gonna pop.
Why doesn't Richard just pull out his own stablecoin? Well, obviously because it would get him killed. Everybody who's ever challenged the powers that be, whether it's Muammar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, the guy who invented the MakerDAO, he died in 8 inches of water, that is a guaranteed path to death. So you're never going to see Richard or any individual survive the launch of a stablecoin. And that's why there's been so much obfuscation. That's why there's been so much misdirection. If this project fails, you'll never have another decentralized blockchain that has ruling that says it lives outside of the United States. The ruling from Judge Amen was the most powerful thing to ever happen in finance. It's never going to happen again. This is it. I don't think people appreciate the amount of cost that Richard Hart incurred defending Pulsechain. Those lawyers are a couple $1,000 an hour, right? And he had 10 of them. And when you go and you watch that, how much preparatory work was put into the defense of Pulsechain? How many people have the liquidity, have the means to spin up a chain that can take on the SEC, that can take on the United States government and win? This is it. This is the only shot. That is so important. That is why Pulsechain matters so much. You're never going to get a ruling and then get past the appeals process. It cannot come after Pulsechain again. It's been decided. This is a place of freedom. That's what this chain is. This is the only freedom chain, not just PDA. It's all of Pulsechain is the freedom chain. This is bigger than just that. This is about the freedom of command.
Good. That if that doesn't just make you feel good, man, I don't know what else will. Pulsechain ain't for you then.
Yeah, that guy does such a good job, man. Like he had one we were trying to show during the Pdai conference. I think we had some technical issues, but he got to come on. Super good dude. You know, we've got other artists in this space, like Pulsechain Dai, Hex Sham Hex, Pulse TV. You know, if I'm not leaving anybody out intentionally, but the list is extremely long, and I appreciate all of the artists, man. Like you're doing your part. Thank you very much for the work and the effort you're putting in. Like it's a lot of work to generate stuff like that. Like those people care, man, and they get it. Like that message, like that's art to me, right? Like that's a message, and that it makes you feel something. Like that's really powerful marketing. And if we can spread that message in that artwork, man, the sky's the limit, right? Like our artists and our communicators are our most important people.
Yeah, bro. That's the type of message that we need to be sending. That's the type of commercials, advertisements, videos, whatever you want to call them. Those get people's attention. And the more we can encourage these people, guys, go follow Crypto Clover. Everyone in here, retweet that, like it, share it out, comment on it, and get him feeling good that the community supports him and likes it. So he's encouraged to keep doing this stuff because that's the perfect blend. Everybody loves Ivan. We all do. You can't not love him. He's perfect for this community, for this space. He always finds a way to bring us up, but he leaves out the most critical stuff. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the community to stir them up. And when the time's ready, then he takes it to the next level. So this is awesome, bro. I'm super excited. And I was telling you in the green room that I've been chatting with Tiger Crypto God in DMs. And he's another one that is just polarizing. He commands attention. He's so well spoken, and he's got toys and gadgets and stuff that make his videos fun that people will watch because they like that car, or they like that gun, or they'll check it out. And with the more stuff like this we have, the more he said he's really going to step it up, and he's got some cool stuff planned. So I'm excited, bro, for what's coming. It got pretty crazy for a while on Pulsechain with all the fighting and the nonsense, but I really feel like in the last 2 weeks, the Pdai conference really helped. And just I even see like Famous and guys in spaces now all talking again when they wouldn't even be in spaces before with each other. So it's good to see that the just nonsense is starting to fade.
Yeah. I interacted. I hadn't followed Tiger Crypto God for very long, but like I saw in one of his things, he mentioned Daniel Wolf Vision, and he helped us a lot with the Pdai conference. And man, that's a really good dude, like a very spiritual, very knowledgeable guy. You know, and Tiger Crypto God spoke highly of him, and like, man, I know Daniel's a good dude, right? Steven's good. Like Steven is so pure with his messaging and so intentional. Like I just love Steven, you know, great guy, the right guy, like puts his message forward, has his beliefs, pushes it. Like there's just so many good people here, man. And we got the right kind of people holding right now, like, because we all believe. Like I've never seen a group that can take the whipping like we've taken in the Pdai community, unfazed, you know, just Nobody cares. Like, oh, it's going to go down 90%. I don't give a shit. I'm not selling. There's nothing you can do to shake me out. Like, I've never seen that in crypto. I've never seen that in anything, right? It's because these people understand the value of a sufficiently decentralized stablecoin. They know what it means. And, there's a lot of different people that promote Pdai that have a different way of talking about it. And it gets a little bananas from time to time with some of the nonsense, but like whatever you resonate with, if you're finding somebody that's promoting it, that really knows their stuff, like they're doing you a service. Like, however you need to hear the message, like if, like I have kind of a chill way of talking, if you like my style, I'll try to give you the truth as best I can. If you like a radical, wild ass style, there's other fellas out there for you, man. But they say good stuff too, like, like the MakerDAO thing, when the ESM happened. And during that moment, people were saying, well, is it dead? Is it still around? I'm not a developer, but I just chose to be of two minds in that moment. It's like, what's going to happen if it did die? What does the future look like if it's still around? And as time passed, you started to see more transactions happen with Maker. And some things were happening that said that MakerDAO wasn't dead. So my personal belief is that Maker wasn't killed. It's still here. And that is so important. If the ESM on Maker didn't kill it, because nobody, like when you hear other people talk and they say, well, we can have a stable coin. No bullshit. No, there's not a stable coin out there that's going to be able to spin up enough value for a decentralized ecosystem. And I'll tell you why. If you have something like MakerDAO, you have infinite liquidity with the ability to mint to meet value. And you got to have something like that. If you understand global finance, so there's something called the Eurodollar. And the Eurodollar is US denominated debt that sits outside of America. And it's almost impossible to measure, but some of the smartest guys I listen to that follow global macro estimate the amount of the Eurodollar market between 500 and 750 trillion dollars. I'll say that again. Between 500 and 750 trillion dollars of US debt that sits outside of the United States. Well, if you're trying to build a financial system that's going to service the world, bro, you're going to have to get something that can come up with close to a quadrillion. And you're telling me that a stable coin that's backed, like has a couple billion or 100 billion is going to be sufficient? Horseshit. No, bro, Maker's real important for this ecosystem. Real important. And when there's a new front end pushed out that's going to give people the access to hopefully you'll be able to take your HSIT shares and use those as collateral and create your own vault in the new Maker, which will then mint Pdai. And now your HEX is your bearer bond behind all the liquidity. You create a brand new, basically world's reserve currency, and it's going to be HEX. But it won't be the tradable asset. HEX will be the bearer bond, like the SDR that stands up behind the MakerDAO. Right.
So you wouldn't be able to do that with existing HEX stakes. It would just have to be HSIs that you made after Pulse launched. Hopefully.
Yeah. Now, are there devs that are, and I don't know this, man. Like I said, I'm not a dev, but we got some really smart dudes in our community, man. Are they going to figure out a way to transfer a native stake to an HSI stake so that people will be able to use those as collateral and put them in the MakerDAO? I wouldn't count our guys out. Dude, we got the best and brightest minds in the world on our chain. Don't bet against our guys, right?
No, it's a good point, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a dev at all. I'm retarded when it comes to that stuff. I don't even pretend. I don't even want to try looking at it. But yeah, just it makes sense with the HSIs. That would be more doable. But I mean, who knows? And even if it wasn't for retroactive hex stakes, maybe it could be for new ones moving forward. You know, or you just create the HSI regardless, and now you have options with it. Why would anyone do a regular hex stake at that point?
Well, you have things like, what if you were able to create a mirror image of your native hex stake that it would be the same as wrapping it, right? Like a 404. So if you took your existing hex stake, made a mirror image of it, like wrapped it up into an HSI, now you got something that's transferable. Like that's not an impossible build, bro.
No, that's not at all.
Like this shit can be done. Just because it's not here, people think it can't exist. Okay, so for a little context, during one of Coexistence Stevens' streams, he was interviewing Caddy and surfacing, and I hopped on somewhere around the 40-minute mark because they were talking about Maker, and I asked them if it was possible to take an HSI T-share and use it as collateral in Maker. And they said, yeah, if we add it to the list, you'd be able to do it. And this was like, I don't know, 8-9 months ago. And as I'm sharing this idea with Caddy, I said, okay, if you're able to do that, you would create so much buy pressure into Hex. And you would take all of the liquid Hex and lock it up. Because now people will be able to take an HSI, right? Put it into a vault and mint Pdai.
Yeah.
All right. Then as if the oracle inside the Maker DAO can establish value, as the Hex T-share rises in value, you'll have the ability to continue to mint Pdai. Because the value of the underlying asset's rising, you'll be able to mint more. And if there will be no reason to have liquid Hex. Okay? Like the Hex value goes up, the price of a T-share goes up, and you're going to be constantly able to mint off of that T-share.
So Maker got shut off allegedly and killed, but there could be not a fork, but an upgrade, a new version, something that where they build onto that code and make.
I think they're upgrade. Yeah, they're upgrading Maker, and I can't prove that, but reading between the lines and seeing things I've seen and seeing some actual transactions on chain, like there's been transactions that have happened in Maker DAO after the ESM. Well, that can't happen if it was ESM'd.
Yeah, that's what I wonder too. If it was dead, how would you be able to even go in there and even just whatever? I heard one was like someone tried to go mint and it was like a failed response. So people acted like it was coming from there, but it wasn't. But if someone actually was able to do something in there, how can it be dead? How it doesn't make sense. You can't have it both ways.
Well, okay. Before the snapshot of Pulsechain, who was the largest holder of Pdai on ETH?
RH.
You damn right he was. Yeah. He held like 20% of the value of all of the Pdai on Ethereum.
Was it 20 or 50? I thought it was 15. Holy shit.
God, I hope I didn't misquote that.
Whatever.
It was a large amount.
15 or 20, bro. That's fucking massive.
Right. So at the fork, he has that much in his wallet. Well, let's just say that Richard Hart does things that are in his own interest. Like, don't you think it'd be great if you're the largest holder of Pdai that shit doesn't go to $1? Are you kidding me? Like, dude, that's billions of dollars, right? Like, he's financially incentivized to upgrade Maker if they saw a flaw in the code in Maker code and they updated the protocol, and then they just drop a new front end where people can interact with the new version of Maker. There's nobody in the world that's more financially incentivized than Richard Hart to make Pdai work.
Yeah, I just asked Fast in the chat because he's a dev, bro. He's super smart. He's got a lending protocol on his site with Ink, and there's like $3 million in there. He said they would have to deploy a new Pdai too. Old holders would be screwed. All right. Well, all right. So there's it can be done. And maybe that's what this L2 is coming. That's L2 that allegedly was snapshot was taken for. Maybe it has something to do with that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best out here. I'm just trying to be positive. I want this to happen.
Right. Like, however it happens, dude, like we need a version of Maker. And however that shakes out, like, great, but we need something that can spin up enough liquidity. Like, and I know Pdai is a contentious thing. I really wish we could just talk about decentralization and talk about the value of the chain and talk about how we're all going to win together instead of being derisive with one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Fast is he's an awesome dude. Like right now, if he came out, like he would have a great conversation. Even if he 100% disagrees, he's just like, he'll sit here and have a great conversation, and that's what I respect about him.
Yeah, I hopped on St. Wolf the other night or last night, and he was there. He was cool. He was nice to me. I'd never met him before. Like, and I enjoy St. Wolf stuff. Like, I watch it a lot. Those guys are cool, man. They got a great vibe going on. I enjoy their product.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm all about, bro. Is like, I don't understand this shit. I don't know. I just want to know, like, is it possible? Is it impossible? Like, what would have to be done? And if it was a new Pdai, I mean, that wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess. You could just, take the same supply and then create a new token and then just airdrop it to the existing holders, I guess. I don't think that would be.
I don't know how it's going to work out, bro. Like, I got no crystal ball. Like, I'm real careful to say, like, the reason I don't talk about my bags is because I don't want anybody to get hurt following me. You know what I mean? Like, I've made my choices. I'm here for the chain, and I'm in all the cores, right? And I believe in them. Man, I was like, I have big payday stakes, bro. I've been here since the beginning of Hacks. Okay. Like, I sacrifice for both, like Pulse and PulseX. I'm in it. Like, and I'm diversified across the chain. Am I convinced that everything I'm invested in is going to hit a home run? No, dude, I'll probably have a few failures. It's okay. Like, but that's why I'm diversified. I got some high risk shit. I got some low risk stuff. As low risk as you can be, I guess. But whatever.
Hey, I mean, bro, so a couple billion. I mean, think if Pulsechain did a 10x, now that's only $250 million, and we do a 10x, and now we got 2.5. I mean, as long as it's not, the answer is no, it's fucking impossible. The shit is dead. It's not coming back. Like, as long as that's not the case, like, it gives me hope, man. And even if Pdai doesn't turn out to be a decentralized stablecoin, there's so much in the privacy narrative alone that could just bring us to, the mainstream as the decentralized chain, the freedom chain, or whatever. Like, crypto evolves, and no one knows where we're going to be in 5 years from now.
Agreed. Like, the first message of Bitcoin was peer-to-peer digital cash, right? That was a promotion. Matter of fact, like, I think I got it in my pocket, dude. I can show you something really cool. Yeah. Let's see if I can. So this is pure silver.
Nice.
Yeah, like, this was stuff Bitcoin used to do to promote. Like, that's like a 1 ounce silver round that Bitcoin would put out. And the idea behind Bitcoin was they wanted to change how people interacted with each other. Peer-to-peer digital cash. Well, that failed, right? Bitcoin's not that. Those transactions are too slow. Lightning Network shit. I ain't looked at it in years, but it was a steady failure. If Pdai is going to be the thing, great. If it's just the second iteration that pushes the message to the next thing, and I was a part of the message that helped bring people to owning their own stuff and a decentralized currency. Like if it takes a third iteration, none of us know. But we're here for the message and we're here for the promotion.
And the tech.
Yeah, we're all here for the tech.
Can't forget that.
Good point, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited, bro. Like, I feel like Richard, it's been a brutal bear market for him. All the stress. I mean, I'm sure he knew he was going to beat the SEC, but just the stress of dealing with all that shit, the interpool nonsense, just the nonstop FUD store in the community, just in shambles. Like, I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder like never before. And I think he's going to come back guns blazing and really have a good.
Well, he kind of started, didn't he? Like he come back in a firestorm yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, just going bananas, cry fagging, dude. That was hilarious. Like, I mean, he's got his own way of doing it, but like, dude, I would never go against that guy. Like, very, very smart man, knows what he's doing. You just got to trust the process, bro. However this thing shakes out, I'm not betting against Richard.
Nope. That's what crypto is, bro. You got to find the projects that you believe in. You have to have conviction. Find that gem when it's down at the bottom, when it's new, when it's suppressed, when it's being fudded like crazy. That's the opportunity. The opportunity, the upside is that right there when no one else believes in it. But you do. You see something there. You know it. You have conviction, and you're the one person out of the 100 that gets into it. And sure enough, you find opportunities like that, multiple of them. You're going to do very well for yourself.
Amen, dude. Yeah. Like, I like that you're going outside of the system and talking about XRP and trying to help people make money, man. Like, good on you. Like, it's a great big space, bro. You don't have to just be a one token dude. Like, wherever you see value, get out there and capture it.
And that's the thing, bro. I've spent so much time obsessing over where this is going in the next couple of years. Once all this tokenization happens and these assets start moving on chain, what chains are they going to be going to? Who's going to be responsible for the interoperability? Who's bringing oracles to all these chains? Like, there's so many cryptos out there that have a great use case and are going to do phenomenal. So it's like, I think it would be, for me, it's too risky to be all in on Pulsechain. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, going through just the up and down, and then just looking around and seeing so many other things pumping while we're not. That starts to become demoralizing. It starts to affect the way you go about crypto. So to have a couple coins in your portfolio when everything is red, like even a day like today, I mean, everything is red, but I could come in and check my thing here and see, look, Veracity's up 30% and Sologenics up 14%. So at least you see one green bubble that makes you feel good. It's not like, oh God, everything's down, I'm wrecked. And then you start, oh, how do I get it back? Should I maybe put a leverage trade in that I can buy some of that? And then it just goes downhill from there. So just seeing a coin in your portfolio pumping, it does so much for your mental, just your mental.
Yeah. Yeah. So, everybody can come at it different. Like, I've been in crypto long enough, man. Every dollar I've put in, I've gotten out, right? Like, I'm on house money, and I was on house money a long time ago, right? So, like, I live a good life, dude. I've got a couple businesses. I do some things. Got passive income already. Like, I'm very blessed. I'm and I'm able to do stuff to help make the world a better place already. So for my crypto, my focus there is how do I make the world better? How do I free humanity? So I take big risks. I'm all in on Pulsechain. Like I'm not outside of it, but it could all go to zero tomorrow. It won't, but if it does, I'm still okay. But that's just, I can take those huge risks because whether or not this works out, I'm solid, bro. Like I'm okay. And if we get the run that I think we're going to get, I'll be able to do a lot of stuff to help a lot of people and hopefully change the course that we're on, change the course for all of humanity. That's what's important to me. Like bringing freedom back, educating people. Like that's the spice of life for me, bro. I'm in on that.
Yeah, me too. And so so for me, my biggest bags are in XRP, XLM, just because I was able to move on my Roth IRA 5 years ago that I started when I was a young kid, man, mowing lawns and saving money. I put it into there and I transferred 75% of it into iTrust Capital, which is just, you can buy crypto inside of there. So I own that. I got it cheap. It's appreciated in value, but like my liquid, I can't touch that till I'm 59 years old. So that's a 20-year plus portfolio. But what I hold liquid, like my trading liquid bags, Pulsechain is my biggest bag by a multitude of 10, probably.
Yeah. There's so much value to be captured there, bro. And like I said, I'm across liquidity pairs because I'm trying to help stabilize the chain, right? Like I'm not looking for a benevolent dictator. Like it's going to take guys to get in there and add value. Like a decentralized financial system needs a lot of independent actors, right? So I'm not a guy that's going to spin up code, but how can I help? I can provide LP. I can help make the chain liquid. Like if we get a 100x, 1,000x, a 10,000x on some of that shit, bro, like the liquidity on Pulsechain will be so thick, we'll be able to stand up to any attack by like hedge funds and investment bankers, right? Yeah. But it's going to take a community to provide LP, right? Don't look to Richard to do it, man. I think that's his major message is like, you guys do it. You guys provide LP. You guys do the messaging, because we can't wait on somebody to save us. We have to save ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good point, bro. It really is. And I just don't know if that is doable this cycle. I feel like that's going to be a little bit further down the road once these markets kind of stabilize. You know, if we run up to 10, $12 trillion market cap and we dump back down 50%, like, you know, people, I just don't know if there'll be enough people willing to take those paper losses and keep their stuff. But you got to have that long-term vision. But for sure, man, once this market starts to stabilize, he's going to incentivize us to stay on the chain. You know, he will. Like, he's smart enough to do that. So yeah, bro, I think that is something that's inevitably coming. And so many people are building stuff like that with Rags. Shout out to Rags with Switch.win. He's building over there with the new aggregator that is going to hopefully be cross-chain pretty soon. There's going to be bridges directly to base. And, you know, that's the stuff. It's coming. And the more access we have to get from chain to chain, bridge liquidity in and move it around, it'll be, you know, everything's coming, bro. Richard knows what he's doing. He's not going to just release everything all at once, even though it makes it shitty at the time. It's how the game is played.
Right. Well, it looks like Liberty Swap's doing a lot of stuff, man. Like the implementation of Railgun, and I think I saw a deal where they're going to have a cross-chain swap with Base coming soon, or it just went live or something like that.
Yeah, very soon. Or yep.
Yeah. So like you got all these people doing shit that, you know, you're gonna have cross-chain liquidity on both sides. And, you know, as far as being attacked by investment bankers and hedge funds, dude, they didn't give a shit about Bitcoin for 10 years. It wasn't big enough. There wasn't enough capital there to extract, right? Like, we don't matter. We're a blip on the radar right now at this moment, right? If they're going to come after something, like, you started to see Wyckoff accumulation and distribution patterns in Bitcoin around like 60K, right? But Bitcoin is over 10 years old before the major market movers started getting in there and pulling their tricks. So we got quite a while. Like, we can see some run-ups, we can see some drawdowns. Like, this is all speculative right now. We're just barely coming out of the J on this J curve investment. You know, but the message that I want to put out to people that I think is so important is, like, you know, don't wait on somebody to save you. Participate in a world that's going to save humanity. And that's what this is, man. And this blockchain is going to be the safest place in the world to store value, right? Because we don't fall under the rulings of the SEC. There's now, just for the core tokens and like the known tokens, there's not admin keys and kill switches, right? So, but there are things on Pulsechain that have admin keys. You got to be real careful with what you put your money in, but like the main stuff doesn't. Like, know what you're investing in, protect your value. You know, we need a stable, like, for me, what I foresee Pulsechain becoming in 10 to 15 years is a place where foreign sovereigns do business, right? Like, because you can't sanction a country. Okay, so if you have two countries that have fallen out of good standing with whoever's controlling the SWIFT system at the time, and country A wants to buy, you know, $10 billion worth of oil, and country B sells it, those two countries will be able to interact on the blockchain, right? And if the U.S., and like, I foresee U.S. dollar dominance increasing in time. The U.S. dollar is not going away.
100%.
So if you're gonna do big business, you got to have a stable store of value. Like, Bitcoin's not it, because it fluctuates too much, right? You need a stable. And so if you can get these countries interacting with each other on a blockchain where there's zero risk of having their funds frozen, bro, that is product market fit, right? Global trade can be done on Pulsechain. And that's what I like, man, that's what I'm trying to manifest, right? That's freedom, baby.
Yeah. So I think the only thing I could think that is maybe countries would launch their own blockchains to do that stuff on. But even if they did that, you got so many businesses around the world that are going to be launching products and bringing their businesses onto the blockchain that certain businesses are not going to want to go other places. We're going to be the perfect fit for them. So it could just be like, you know, the mom and pop businesses of America that, you know, need stuff a certain way, the privacy, you know, I don't know how it turns out, but as long as we have the infrastructure available, that's what's so important. And the early people now, we start paving the path and setting a tone and a vision and, you know, a hope for where everything goes.
Right. I mean, man, there's a lot of things that can happen between this moment and that reality that I just spoke, right? But we have thread the camel through the eye of the needle here, right? Like, look at all the things that happen. Like, Richard beat the SEC. Dude, that's huge. Like, if you were to put that bet on Polymarket when they went after him, what, maybe a 5% chance of him winning, right? You've had all of these events line up. Like, Trump winning, to me, was a monster. If we would have had a top-down authoritarian government, like under the Kamala Harris regime, dude, it would have stifled innovation. So like Trump winning, Richard beating the SEC, like all of these slim miracles that have happened, that is God at work. That's good winning against evil, right? Like that's how I see it. Like, and good is going to win. And we're on the side of good here. Like all of us are fighting with each other a little bit, which we shouldn't. Like, you know, we're all on the same side.
Yeah.
Right. But that reality that I spoke about of foreign sovereigns trading with each other, man, then you get to really you change finance. And all of a sudden, just because somebody's born in a place, like they're not destined for a life of poverty and slavery, man. They're going to have access to capital markets. There's going to be innovation. It's going to be global, right? Like we're all God's children.
I was just thinking, like what I said about if countries just launch their own blockchain, that still doesn't solve the problem inside the country. If you're a business and say whatever, you're in Cambodia and you want to do, I don't know, some massage business or whatever, and it's taboo over there. Well, you could come do it on Pulsechain and nobody will mess with you over there. You can transact through everything you need. So I feel like even if they did their own blockchains, there's still going to be people that are persecuted or hated because you did something wrong or you got blacklisted over here. So they'll be able to come over to Pulsechain. So I feel like, yeah, bro, inevitably something like that is going to happen on Pulsechain. These countries are too tyrannical. They're too greedy and they want so much control. They're not going to have the same ecosystem we have for just complete freedom. It's all going to be about control.
That's it. That's exactly it, man. Like, you know, the slave keepers aren't going to set the slaves free. The slaves have to break free, right? And I've used this example before, but like in 2019, I went to the blockchain conference, what was it? Blockchain Stampede conference in Laramie, Wyoming. Caitlin Long was putting those on. And I went to the law conference and I sat there for 3 days and I listened, and they had regulators from the SEC speak. And I think that was in August of 2019. And those regulators said they were going to outlaw Tornado Cash. Right. And I knew what Tornado Cash was because I was following Richard. Like I was very well aware. And so I asked the question to the regulators. I said, how are you going to outlaw Tornado Cash? It's code. It's an immutable contract on the chain. How are you going to outlaw it? And they said, well, anybody who uses it, we're going to go after them. I said, well, what does that look like? I said, well, we're going to get access to everybody's wallets. And one of the guys actually said this, and it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. He said, if that doesn't work, we'll just roll back the chain. I was like, wait a minute, bro, roll back Ethereum to a point in time before Tornado Cash existed and start up again? What happened to all those transactions, dude? Like, you don't understand blockchain, you know? But they also talked about Monero. They looked at it as a threat. Tornado Cash and Monero was on their radar in 2019. Within like 6 months, dude, that's when they started going after Tornado Cash. And shortly thereafter, Fluffy Pony from Monero, bro, that's when he got picked up, right? So they're watching, man. And the slave masters want to keep y'all at heel.
Dude, if you notice though, with the Monero, Nicholas von Saberhagen slid away, and I've been doing a lot of digging, and I am 96.9% convinced it's come from beyond the founder of Cubic. That's why he chose to start mining Monero and caused the 51% attack on Monero, because that was his own project.
Yeah. Well, think about when Pavel Durov got arrested, right? Mm-hmm. When they picked up Pavel, then like in that time period, all of a sudden a bunch of shit started happening to the Ton blockchain. Bro, you think they didn't put back in switches in Ton? You think he didn't give them access? I wouldn't access Ton. I wouldn't use that shit for nothing, right? I think it's a corrupted chain. And the beauty of Pulsechain is like Richard doesn't run validators. He has no validators, right? Like we got 50,000 of them worldwide. You're not going to 51% attack this chain. It won't be done. So what happens on this chain, it's out of control, baby, right? And we're the only one. This is the only time this is going to work. Like, I think they missed this one. Like, and that's why I think this is good versus evil, man, because we have seen it in action here. And like, that's why I'm all in on it, because I know it won't fail, because good will not lose to evil.
That's such a good point. Really well said. The more we just keep promoting it, bro, the more of those videos like Clover's that are made, the more Tiger crypto gods pump out content. Guys like him, we're out here doing streams. Like I'm streaming with Fast again on Friday, so we want to try to do every Friday night just a Pulsechain stream. Just be talking about it, get more eyeballs, and yeah, bro, it's a longer term play on Pulsechain. I wouldn't have thought that was the case so much early. I thought more would be going on sooner, but now I see that would have been a mistake. What's going on now is perfect because privacy is really where it's at. And if that's what's being built, which I think it is, combine that with everything we talked about, like we just have so many potential narratives. We got so much speculation and hype that, man, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and we got the right people, dude. Like during that Pdai conference, I came away from there and I was so excited about the people. Like so many good people, man. So many spiritual people. Like everybody's tapped into the same frequency. Like it, for me and where I live and the things I know, at times I feel alone. Because I don't have people directly around me that understand this shit, understand global macro, understand cryptocurrency the way that I do. But then when I got on there, like I get to shut up and listen. I love it, right? Like there's people that are so smart in so many ways that I get to just consume content. I love the community. Like, it just has the best and brightest minds and the greatest souls here, man.
I completely agree, bro. Completely agree. And shout out to Steven and you guys that put that together. It blew away any of Maddie's conferences. I mean, the whole time there was not one part that was like, all right, like this is dragging on this. It was consistently awesome conversation. And you don't see that very much.
Yeah, well, that's a lot to the guests, man. Like, thank you for coming on. Like, you were great. Like, we had just people that are so smart in so many different fields that spoke and gave knowledge, where we all just got to absorb and learn from one another, right? Like, I really, really appreciated that. And, like, we tried to have a little section for a debate. Like, we encourage, like, we're not trying to censor folks. If you don't believe, it's okay. Like, we believe in free speech. So we tried to do that. It kind of took, sort of not really, like the debaters were late to show up. So we didn't get a full run at it. But like at the end, Stephen brought on a remote viewer and like, I don't know much about that, but it was cool listening to. And she was talking about how like and I'll probably say something stupid here, so bear with me, but like she was talking about this thing having an egregore, like an energy around it, and that this stuff is got a spiritual movement tied to it. And it, like, as she's talking, like I can just feel when people are being honest. And she was speaking truth, dude, and I just loved it. I loved it. And I love that Stephen brought her on. And like that kind of shit that I get to learn from Stephen, like I really value Stephen. He's such a good guy, and, just like I never met Godman Markets. He was cool. It's just Artie, everybody. They'll get to meet you. It was such a pleasure to get to just have an experience where we all got to learn from one another. And for me, it made me realize, like, wow, man, worldwide, like when you saw how, like, I think his name was Charlie Hex or something, and he was in Bolivia and he was talking about the way that he's been oppressed and that there's a narco government coming in and the way that this is going to save him and his family and his community, bro, like that touched me, right? Like there's people in really, really bad places in the world that need this, right? And it like Richard says, the greatest thing you can do as a human is help other humans. And that's what this is about, bro. At least for me.
Yeah, 100%. And it's you just don't see people on stream for that long when it doesn't get cringe. It doesn't turn into arguments, people shouting and talking on top of each other. Like it flowed so well. And there was just, I couldn't believe it, bro. I was waiting for that someone to pop on and start acting stupid and just derail where it was going, but it never happened. It just kept on going and going and going and getting better and better. And yeah, man, shout out to you guys for doing that. And I hope there's another one coming up in a couple months, or who knows, just like Pulsechain conversations where a group of 6 people are on for a 4-hour block. Like just having the conversations, man, it's contagious. It really, I was told multiple people that it really lit that fire for me again for Pulsechain, because I've been focusing so much outside the community because it was just such chaos. I don't want to deal with. I just got so sick of oh my God, the hyperloops, and look at Binance posted a gold 8 and Richard ate tuna fish last night, so they're listing Pulsechain next week. And it's like, dude, stop with this. So I just got so out of control for me. I had to step back, and this is what really got me back and excited and streaming more about Pulsechain. So appreciate you guys. You got me back.
Thank you. I'm glad you had a great experience. With the conference, we did have a wallet so we could get badges. Now that the wallet was OTC'd, so none of the tokens that were given were sold. So the chain didn't get dumped. It took $10,000 to pay for the badges. That's the initial price, and that gets the first badge. So we've got a thing up on our Twitter account where the community can go and vote to whoever they want to give the first badge to, right?
Going to Sami, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fuck it. I want to give it to Sami. We said we would do a poll, and whoever wins the poll is going to get the first badge. And then other people, if they want to pay the $600, they can come in and we're going to have a process, and it's about promotion, right? But the important thing is that wallet was OTC'd, and those funds are going to be frozen for a year. Okay. So, or if we get a huge run up, let's say that the token's inside there, 100x, 1000x, something like that. Well, you now have this great big wallet for promotion. That wallet's designated as a promotion wallet, right? So we'll do more conferences. We'll do more things. So many people volunteered in that event, man. We had a message thread on Twitter, had 9 people in it that just gave it everything. Let it be Steve-O, Daniel, Pulse TV. There's guys that you wouldn't even know were a part of it, but it was such a group effort. Steven, he worked really hard, man. But the chain, no money was extracted from the chain to do the conference, and funds are locked up. So there will be funding in the future to promote more stuff, right? We tried to do the best we could to do no harm. And that was, I feel like we did it the right way.
Bro, you couldn't have done it better. I didn't even know about the lockup on the OTC. That's awesome, guys. Like anyone that trashes it, fuds it, it's like your IQ has got to be below 50 at that point. Like if you can't see the good in this shit that came from it and the future of doing more of them and having it even bigger, man, this DeFi and crypto is just not for you.
Right. Yeah, but I'm excited to do more, man. Like, you know, day one was like 7 hours. I had to jump after 13 hours on day two. I was smoked, bro. 13 hours in front of a computer, like it was a lot. And I think they went for an hour and a half after I bailed, but it was cool. I enjoyed every moment of it, and getting to meet more people in the next one, hearing their message, like, you know, like I said, man, that guy in Bolivia, getting to hear his story and how this is going to potentially save him and his family, like that energizes me. Like he seemed like a super nice man. And there's another guy in Mexico that had the same story. But like, dude, we got to interact with guys in New Zealand, Australia, Bolivia, Europe, Mexico, America, Canada. It was awesome, man. Like the community's worldwide, and you can see how this is going to help people all over the world. That's what was so cool about the conference for me.
Yeah, bro. Really well said. And I'm not even going to try to one up that. The conference was phenomenal. And I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. Okay, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes already. But yeah, 222 of you in here right now. Smash that like button. If you're not following Bud over on Twitter, go give him a follow. Let's get him up to 1,000 followers just so he can have that 1K under his belt. And yeah, bro, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for having me. If you need me at any time, just shoot me a message. Enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, bro, for sure. In the future, definitely want to start doing these, and maybe we'll get Stevie on, and we'll start a little group stream.
Cool. Yeah, I'm anytime, brother. Just let me know.
Awesome, bro. Well, guys, appreciate all you guys in the chat, all the comments, and we will see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m.
Yeah. We're in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Viber got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Viber finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Viber got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Viber finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Viber got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.